Hello, welcome to this little informal session um, for Argle Bargle Books for our Kickstarter with Jonathan McBurnie, um, author of FLOODLAND. I met Jonathan on a trip to Finland, and when I saw his work, I was like smashed. I was like, okay, this thing stuff is amazing. So, we need to make a book because Jonathan comes from the visual arts medium. And I was, as I saw it, I was sure like that would make an excellent book. So back then we decided to make a book together and, a few iterations here and there, and it ended up being Floodland. So Jonathan, if you want to give us a few words about the book.
Sure. I guess just starting off with where we started with it. I think originally we thought we might have a go at a black and white book, and then potentially do a color book as a sequel. So of course we're testing the water with the black and white right now. The black and white the black and white format is sort of the kind of roots of where I've come from in terms of both cartooning and making visual arts for galleries and things. And color has been a bit more of a recent progression for me. So black and white just seemed like a really good place to start with this project. I think both of us were working on black and white work over in Finland, and so it just sort of it snowballed from there, really. It also has allowed us to go through about a decade's worth of work, maybe a little bit more, and sort of cherry pick little bits and pieces and threads that run through the work over those years, and really kind of, I think we've picked works that they fit into a sort of a narrative together, but they can also be interpreted and read separately as well. So it's sort of it's a bit of a grand experiment, and hopefully we'll get to extend upon that experiment with some sort of sequel down the line.
Yeah, great. So right now we're at 65%, I think, of our $7,000 goal,
Yeah.
mm, which is great.
Mm.
2 weeks left. We have about $2,000 to go. So I feel like it's something that we can make happen.
Yeah.
Um, and hopefully people will like jump in and help us achieve the goal because it's really an amazing book. If you can talk a bit about like the themes in the book and subject matter.
Yeah, theme wise, I mean, it's interesting because there's, like a lot of cartoonists, my work has slowly evolved over the years, but there have been some themes that have been constant throughout. And I think, the older I get and the more work I make, the more things I self-publish, I suppose the more insight I've been getting into those sorts of ideas. Something I've been playing with for a good amount of time now is this idea of the way we present ourselves in terms of, here we are, artists, cartoonists, whatever we're working in, whatever medium we're working in. There's a sort of a conscious choice of how we might present ourselves in terms of, is there a character that might represent us? A lot of people make that assumption that certain characters may represent the artist, or certain symbols or certain images. For the last maybe 10 years, I've been really interested in the idea of putting out symbols and images that might be red herrings. So they might be sort of deliberate distractions from what is actually some sort of representation of myself or some sort of representation of somebody else. So that's been a very fun and cheeky and subversive way of making work for quite a long time. But more recently, I've sort of personally come to a bit of a realization that there actually has been a sort of a recurring image in a lot of these works and comics over the years, that maybe actually has been representing me all the time. I'm not going to actually reveal which one that is for you. I'm actually very interested in seeing if any readers might pick up on this. As I say, there's a few red herrings. There's a few images and symbols in there that could be maybe mistaken for some sort of representation of myself. But actually, I find myself shying away from being too obvious about things like that. I don't particularly enjoy self-portraiture or sort of overt references to myself. So I do really prefer to play that one a bit more quietly. And I think the eagle-eyed readers out there might be able to figure it out, but I'm curious to see.
Perfect. And so to finish all off, can you talk about the rewards a bit, like
Sure.
what
Yeah,
rewards are?
I'm actually I'm very excited about the rewards because we, as you know, Stanley, we've worked quite hard to make sure that we've got a few different tiers going for different pledges. I think actually at the end of the day, I think we've managed to keep the book at a quite reasonable price. I think for the page count and a hardcover, it's actually very, very good value. And the rewards actually include a lot of really fun things like paper dolls. There's small sketches. So I've got a sort of a series of A5 sized sketches that are, you know, part of the rewards for a certain level. And then after that, we go on to some bigger rewards. So a full drawing rather than just a sort of a sketch, which, you know, I usually may sell at an exhibition or something like that for a little bit, well, quite a bit more actually than what you'll get them for as the rewards. That's just how much I'm so excited about this project, and I really want to make this happen. So, you know, this is great for anyone that if you've ever thought about, you know, if you've been like, I'd like to buy one of his works, but actually too much, it's too hard, or it's too expensive. This is a really good way of getting one in a quite an affordable package, and you get a beautiful hardcover book at the same time. And if you're at the upper level of the rewards, you'll also get some paper dolls as well. So just to explain the paper dolls, I make a lot of work, but you know, like a lot of artists, if something doesn't quite go to plan, things have to be scrapped. I will often cut out the aspects of a drawing that I really like and sort of use them in an exhibition to sort of fill awkward spaces and things. So I'll take the part of the drawing that I think is worth saving and kind of keep it aside for those moments. I quite like the paper doll because it's sort of something that's associated, I think, traditionally with the feminine. But here I am making kind of all this crazy work with, you know, cowboys and wrestlers and superheroes and other nonsense. And you know, I like this idea of sort of feminizing these symbols and tropes that we often recognize as, you know, hyper masculine and super tough, because I think that there's an aspect of that in everyone. I think we both contain a sort of a duality within us, and we're never all completely you know, hyper macho. We're never all completely, you know, what we perceive as feminine. There's a rich diversity in all of us, and I find that quite interesting. So that's sort of where the paper dolls come in. I think at the highest reward tier, you get 3 of those, as well as an A3 size drawing and the book and a few other bits and pieces. So I'll also be chucking in some extra stuff for, I've been keeping a little list of people that have been sharing our campaign. So I'll be throwing in some little extras for those people, because we really do appreciate the support.
Perfect, perfect. Well, thanks, Jonathan, for doing this. And we want to thank the people who backed the project. And hopefully
Absolutely.
a lot of people will get on board and we can make this book happen. It's a fantastic book. And yeah, I can't wait to have it, to hold it in my hands. So thank you.
Yeah, me too. We're nearly there. We keep on keeping on, and we're nearly there. Thank you for all your help, everybody.
Perfect.